should become legendary. I've been in this company for 6 years and never worked that long before. And always I'm convincing my clients to do this product, but there was a reason why we didn't do it before.
Это цифры, к которым я прошу сильно не придираться, потому что я знаю, что...
Please don't look at these numbers. I know that if you multiply, it's not going to be 14.5. But anyway, the whole point is that, speaking about our revenue, we've made 14.5 billion. You could see it in our reportings, and it's very difficult to evaluate the market. You need to calculate how much you've paid to your clients and partners and all that. This number is simply to understand the level of business we have today and how comparable it is to what we want to do. And hey, speaking about the total market of the generation firewalls, it's over 125 billion by 2025. Just to give you a short update, basically the product itself, I first mentioned about the Gartners in 2008, and all this like 10, 15 years, we've seen some kind of implementations. In 2025, you know, there is such a directive. I've heard about that Russian companies should migrate to Russian products. It means it's not only like a natural course of events that they will be able to take and if they quote a certain volume, but also they have to replace all the older kind of companies. That's why it says 126 billion. We know that all in all, probably we have about 20 Russian solutions. But again, to be able to switch everything in big enterprise, that's why we say that, hey, you can say that what we're trying to do is basically comparable to what we already have. It's like a second box of Pandora, which we're opening, and we have to pay more attention to that, like in this kind of a periscope thing. Two drivers, it's a natural growth, and on the second line, we have to replace everything that has been replaced. Maybe not a year, but anyway. Well, now what the market was like before February 24, 2022. There was like a pure breed, you know, two American pure breeds, one Israeli, two Americans, and some other, you know, pure breeds. Horses. It is not only about the speed, it's not about the horse riders. But basically, you can talk about how gracious they are in awesome design and compare them to something else, and basically they are like work of arts. And when we look at the Russian market, things look differently. Look at these ponies, and also, you know, you could show the crocodiles and dogs, and but I was not allowed to do this, although we even have something like that. What's the main message of these slides? That many of our colleagues are saying that, hey, now we have a pony, but we're going to feed this pony, and this pony is going to morph and grow into a beautiful, great, like horse. No, it's not going to happen. It doesn't work like that. What do we offer? Okay, when we begin to do about this niche, we as a company are trying to do this kind of like a value on top of those challenges that we have already solved. When we have these kind of great horses on the market, why do we need or build one more? Because we can build like a super intelligence. We're doing the meta projects and we're trying to make like an autopilot in the cybersec world, but at one point you can do it anymore. You become deaf and blind and you cannot do part of the challenges we have to do to work on the cybersec in its entirety. At the same time, we go to the market and think, should we become like a partner and find a partner and do a collab with somebody? But no, it looks like we're like a tumbleweed. It's a tumbleweed. We could not find a comparable quality. In the beginning of 2022, like September of 2022, we launched our development, and in March, we've been researching this topic and trying to find some partners. And this product based on which we could do the full-fledged cyber set. We began exploring it. Why were we so confident that we'll succeed? I guess I will just make an emphasis on a couple of stories. Because NGFW, it's on one hand, it's an infosec. It has to catch bad actors, it have to have a knowledge, but secondly, it's an IT product. It's about access, it has to be like a fail-proof, and it has to be transparent, should not be noticeable. And all this to expertise. They cannot be built in 5 minutes. You cannot buy it. It's difficult to build it. We do have examples of products and services which we've created in each of this niche. It's not like you take a DevTough and you take NGFW. No single line of code. And having amassed experience of protecting key resources and know how you have to make it a fail-proof and no problem. Based on this experience, we can make next step. The same with an expertise. Well, going back to the vision of the product. Why it's a demo, not a launch, but because the fundamental technology takes time. We could come up with a point and say we almost have it like we were flying in a rocket, but we do not want to deceive somebody else nor ourselves. We want to make it clean, open, and to show how this type of product should be working. It's a demo of what we have. We have a fundamental technology, and this fundamental technology has a potential, like a fuel for the rocket. It's not like we're showing some features and then, oops, we can do anymore, you know. Now, a couple of words of what we've done prior to. We understood how much money we're able to spend on it. Several times somebody told me that when we publish these numbers, some of our colleagues, they've asked money and they say, hey, positive technologies, they want to spend 750 million, give us 1.5, and they were given. That means it's a good thing that we're publishing these numbers. At least we're enabling you guys to make investments and to get your patches. But the point is that this number have been identified, but we cannot even spend it. You cannot eat this money, you gotta do something good with it. Like non-women cannot give birth to one child, and you cannot spend it sooner than you can do it, utilize it objectively. That's why, speaking about finances, I can say that we are not limited to it. We spend all of this to collect best people in the industry who have the best experience. We have a super team, and I want to say thank you once again. Well, it's a token of success. And the second case would be this expertise. We thought for a long time who could be looking like a guy, and sometimes like our hackers are like this guy who is like eating pills and he's taking pills and he's fine, he's doing just great. What I want to say is the difference between our expertise and expertise of like a certain SOC, SOC. A commercial SOC would be security operations centers. Like you have to find many clients and you have to find typical attacks. We have a different focus. Our experts have been working proactively with those attacks which could happen in theory. We do fundamental research and we use it not for the company to make money in consulting, but we want this knowledge to be implemented into our products. And this is the basic difference between us and everybody else. This segment, we do the best. Yeah, and since we want to be open and want to show what we have like under the hood, again, everything I'm saying can be taken as a statement, you know, like anybody can say this, words are cheap, right? But we want to confirm it in real life. We have tech professionals, we have people who want to do deep dives, we want to tell them like how we build this technology and how we just do this. We call it reality show. Behind the class, we have like we have a first webinar, and you can watch this video on internet.
раз в 2 месяца будем про это рассказывать.
Every 2 months we're going to cover this story, and
Но цель этой всей истории не в том,
but the
чтобы
goal of this story is not to show how smart we are, but to jointly to arrive to a product which will suit everyone.
Мы понимаем, насколько эта задача сложная.
Because we understand it's a difficult challenge, and we know that all the market expertise we cannot aggregate, and want to see what we have and to get your feedback. The first steps, we liked it. If you have any doubts about technology and think some cases are not closed, let's welcome, let's see it. And the second thing, I think like 12 or 11 oceans. The idea is that these are our partners and potential clients with who we've done this kind of closed club, and we just show them the first developments. We do the cost dev and show products interface. We explain how certain screen is going to be working and how we're going to do this like functionality, get a feedback. Not like we hear what they have to say and want to make sure that our products addresses that. If you'll find it interesting, but you are not part of all this topic, we have partnership deals, and anybody from our company can actually show it to you. You're welcome. We're open. Now, what we have today, we have a demo area right here. We present our products. We have the basic windows. We have the basic elements, which makes the product NGFW, and you can talk to our team and understand that basically it's quite a technology. And even today, we would like to show you a live demo, but I'll try to make sure that you can see it.
Да, если говорить про то, на чем мы сфокусировались в первой версии.
Now, what was the focus in the first version? Very brief, kind of summary of my webinar on the internet. But for us, the main things which are in the kernel, at the core, the product has to be not noticeable for the end user at the same time. It has to do the job of protection and access delineation. You have to own your proprietary tech. You cannot do anything like an open source like a Suricate and Browse and all others. I mean, this is not an option. We gotta have our own network stack, and it's about being fail-proof and that you can debug everything and and you know how difficult it is to bring like the hardware. Just try to buy a server in India. How can you find it? Of course, they will sell you stuff, but. And the second thing is the management system. Management system has to be hierarchical. It has to cover your whole organization to make sure that you can add firewall and industrial control systems. Let's say we bought one company and then we acquired those guys and hired those guys. If you cannot cover it in our system, unfortunately, it's not going to work properly. And we also take this into account. This is our plan. It's what we show today. You can see it, and basically, it's a platform working on x86. It gives 40 gigabit of traffic. And 10 of it would be TLS inspections. Yes, it's working in the L2 transparent proxy. We don't have the static and dynamic routing. So it's a demo. It's not a launch. It's a prototype. But anyway, this is the system where we have been using. It's a hierarchical management system, and you have a user density control, and also we have our own stack showing up space. It's a foundation based on which we can keep building next versions. In the fall, we will do the routing. There will be a high availability cluster, virtual context, which nobody is basically using. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't followed up the latest versions. It will be in IPS. We have elements, but this kind of IPS URL filtration and security profile. And this is the version which will be rolled out at the end of the Here we will have like we'll go into pilot with early adopters, and this will be like first wave of our pilots. Next, PH days in our company, we have only 2 data, standoff and PH days. All other days are not very important. PH days is May, standoff is in November. In a year, those gotta be like a mass pilot projects. And we have this kind of functionality, which is right for the product to be correct, and also in the end of 2024, instead of a horse, we should get like a Mustang, kind of very well, like a cool Mustang. Yeah, this is the plan. This is the plan, and yet another piece of news. We have to say that we have an idea of how to make NGFW better than what it is. If you look at the history of the product and products which have been specified since 2018-19, basically there was nothing new in the product. If you take and you begin to compare on the level of a feature set, 2 or 3 products, they're basically identical. And as you can say that we were like beneficiaries of what the Western vendors have closed down their offices in Russia of different vendors, and we will say, hey guys, what do you have, like Fortix and Palatix? And they say, hey, you need to have like a super points and methodology of comparison to be able to identify advantages, but basically they are very, very similar. Why am I saying that? We've long had a concept or an idea that if you take any computer in a router, you open the knob, you can see like a museum of development, internet development since 1960 or 70s. When a new piece of hardware is being created, usually you have all the protocols throughout the history, because again, it's about compatibility. You cannot just take it and you cannot crash it. But again, you can impact your own network. When you have your own network, you can say, yeah, instead of IPv6, well, let's use IPv6. Let's do this kind of secure protocol and stuff. And this vector, we want to develop NGFW, because we've been speaking about it's about compliance. If this hardware is going to be translated like right practices, companies can work in between with more protected and right internet. We have a whole concept and draft, but probably like I don't want to give you too many dates, and definitely it's beyond 2024, 2025. We're looking at that kind of border. But what I would like to leave you with, we do not make these horses like Henry Ford was saying. Had we listened to anybody, would be building just another horse, you know. But again, want to do this one. Now, what's next? We are going to show it to you. We're going to show the product. And also Vlad, our chief product analyst, is going to be helping with us. He'll have a mic, and basically all that you can see right now I've listened already, and I guess it doesn't make any sense to repeat myself. Let me show you about the demo stand. We have our product connected to the internet. It has 2 arms, 2 computers where you show what we have, like 2 different roles. And we have 2 traffic generators. One of them is, like most of you and our clients have been using, it's generating real user traffic, but again, it's a generator. But the second one will be like a Yandex tank, which can basically give a traffic to be inspected on the TLS level. So we provide constant workload, which will be split in our NGFW into arms. We'll be doing some kind of actions which will be trying to control and supervise, maybe to ban, maybe to allow it, you name it. Then we switch to our dashboard. This dashboard is basically responsible for monitoring. Let's see what it likes. First, we begin that we have the first 2 numbers. Like 2.7, it's a throughput capacity of NGFW. Traffic is small, and then you get the packages per second, NRX, TPX, then you have the sessions. the sessions, there are new sessions, and the existing sessions per second, and those on the firewall. And the last one would be an amount of bytes in kilobyte, megabyte. Now, the first step, just to show you how this dashboard works, we gave 1 gigabit of traffic from the three protocols. And what do we have, Vlad? Show me. Is HTTP? Let's show you, yeah. And these are the 3 protocols, SMP, HTTP, and DNS. Yeah, right. Now, what do we see? We see that even below here, we got TLS inspection, and this TLS inspection is empty. Yeah, we got some like a small noise, but not much. Basically, we do not see ourselves. And what is happening right now? We do not do any inspection, and the traffic goes. We analyze this traffic, but we do not hide it. What else?
Oh, that's
it, After a minute, we can see the traffic goes away. We're going to supply a next batch. It will be a batch by about 3027 gigabit. And this is the traffic which we are not going to measure. We're not going to do the TLS inspection. It's going to grow bit by bit. So you can see the growth. There'll be 11 protocols, and we'll see that basically there's no inspection. Traffic goes, it's alive, and the hardware is up and running. Some kind of just splashes. Because we're also connected to the virtual, so there could be some small steps here. And it's deciphered, we will be able to see that. 16, 21. Yeah. What else you have to pay attention to? Number of connections, 145K, 655K. That's big, up to several millions. And so far the numbers are growing. We can say that we utilize just 1 processor only. I think it's 20 kernels, and the second one we decided not even to touch. And we put all the workloads based on these 20 kernels. Big potential for growth, but actually what is 10? It turned out to be 40. Yes, let's show 40. It's a plateau. Yeah, that's good. That's it. 27 gigabit. And next, we're going to send this traffic. We are going to be inspecting. And here you can see and notice that right now we have 80,000 sessions for TLS. Basically, this is the TLS which we do not do inspection for. Let's get some TLS for inspections, and we're going to get some more stuff. It's going to go up. Why do we focus on that? Because this is the most difficult operation for the product. Do TLS like on the go, on the fly. Usually this is it's really dropping your productivity. We're not using any optimizations to create handshakes like this is an honest handshake of each of the connections, as you can see it.
Как у нас динамика? Что у нас интернет?
What our dynamics is, let's see. Yeah. Okay, yeah. We got some pings here, and we tried to do it from the mobile internet. It used to work, and then when many people connected, of course, it's kind of dropped. I guess it's gonna come alive. It's gonna come alive, and let's get in the session. It's 1.5. 1.5.
Сколько там сейчас?
How much more?
Ну вот, собственно, восстановились.
Доехало.
Well, now we get back, and this is the focal point, and see 36.5 gigabit. If you've been in traffic, you know that 40 is actually, it's not always 40, it's just a little bit less. And when we utilize the channel, it looks like we have like a 36, 20,000 CSC and 2 million sessions. And this kind of diff, which Vlad and I have been discussing, that we do these additional SSL sessions, like a 7,500. Basically, basically we can do this and see it in real time. And this piece from the graph, we're done with it. This traffic is going to be just hanging. We do not touch it. It's working like in the background. And now let's go back to our presentation right here. We go back to this slide. It's the first scenario that we would like to show. It's SSH protocol. Why SSH and why we decided to take it? It's like a real life. We've checked 1S accounting platform, and SSH is always like rolling back the source code. We've had a case with one of our clients when basically the guy was laid off and he was able to download the code and switch off SSH or turn on SSH. That's realistic. So we have two arms with different roles, developer and admin. Now we're going to show you how we can use an NGFW to allow auto-ban SSH. Let's go back to the interface, please. Just a sec. Yeah. This is our interface. Let's switch from a scenario, and I want to say just what I've done. Number one, you have hierarchy. This is the hierarchy. Let's just show it. It's a hierarchy of subsidiaries built with the policies. In each of these elements, you get your own set of policies. They're spilled leveled down. It's a concept. Well, in most of the firewalls, in each firewall, which will be executing this rule, it has their sequential policies, which will be like a done top-down, which is a classical approach, and saying why we left this table and went against something else. I'm convinced that a table is a thing. There's a notion, like in acting, if a co-actor, kids come and a co-actor, they just play it better, and then animals come and they play better than kids. And table rules, If in firewall you have to do some kind of data representation, you gotta have a table, but you can optimize it to make it easier to work with this interface. We have a lot of filters, autocomplete. Database memories, you cannot show it in 2 minutes, but when Vlad will be doing the rules, you can do it, and you can come to our stance and to say that the product would be thinking for you and adding and doing stuff for you. So now let's look at this specific firewall. Let's open it up and say, how do we have the access to SSH? Internet is open for 2 ports right here for the office, right? Yeah, 2 ports. You can see them right here. And please notice it's like a TCP ports, but there's nothing about SSH. There's no open SSH, and it should not work. Let's open 2 arms and let's see.
В целом, пока подключается, мы можем посмотреть вообще в целом.
While it is connected, we can just see our connectivity, if it's good or not.
Интернет есть. Как ни странно.
We got connectivity, certificate with a small Easter egg that we've seen here, right here. It's our certificate. Browser is saying, okay, this is what we've done and applied. Got connection, and now we can see those connections which did not go through. Yeah, let's see it.
Фильтрануть, наверное, как-то.
Вот наша дропка.
Вот наши 2 соединения.
Yeah, these are our drops, the 2 connections from the 2 hosts. You can see that right here. And now let's give permission to the SSH admin and see how these roles are going to be added to this config. What Vlad is writing, it is not you have to write, it's simply just a name. Just name. I mean, it's not a text that you have to, memorize and stuff. So we'll just fill up all the lines right here. Okay.
А что делать-то будем? Разрешать?
Давай, да.
What do we do? Do we give permission or not? Yep.
Когда сработает.
Let's do the log
Вот,
here.
сейчас мы это
Yeah.
правило запушим
Now
на
this rule is going to be pushed on our
Пошло
device.
туда заливаться.
Here it goes. It's loading,
С инспекцией.
and we have an inspection going on.
Все, политика применилась. Опа, заработало.
That's it. Policy has been applied, and it's up and running. And let's check the second arm.
Но
It looks like it is not working there yet, but going back to our scenario, we've had two ports open,
в целом там был
and
точно наш
now
протокол только TCP.
the protocol
Такой
was
неприятный
only TCP.
нюанс настройки
So
интервала,
this
такой часто
is
забывают.
like
Получается, что у нас
NGFW, like a nuance, and looks like SSH
Да, хорошо, что у
is
вас
still going to be
показало,
up and running. Good that that showed us, and it's a fact that basically, right here you can see the load. The load is still going on with inspection, and you name it. With the backdrop. So going back to this whole story, it looks like on our port 443, which we did not allow internet. And I forgot to say, when we added this rule, we allowed only one role, which has been done by the admin. But again, the developer can use the 443. You just have to change it in the firewall settings by specifying a protocol. Because again, when these protocols have been set like TCP, you just had to say that all of this is only for SSH. It's like for the web only.
Вот уточнили эти протоколы, убеждаемся, что
Yes, we've specified the protocols, and just want to make sure that it's according to plan. Maybe it's it's on the admin side. No, it's up.
и у разработчика сейчас работать не должно. Именно в силу
And
того,
again, the
что
developer should not have a connection because we've specified web protocols, and now using only HTTP, and for SSH only admin has access. Now, with this scenario, I think we're done. The second scenario I wanted to show you today is more like a real life. It's like a WhatsApp. We only have like salespeople in our companies,
Вот, они все как бы любят
and
по WhatsApp
they
что-нибудь куда-нибудь отправить.
love, send stuff using WhatsApp. And somebody else, like some admins, would like to just put ban on. Let's say that WhatsApp is totally forbidden, but we just have to open it up from one person only in the company. Let's see how it works on the firewall. Show me the general rule, WhatsApp.
WhatsApp дропается.
Rule number 14, WhatsApp drop ASL. And now let's try to go back and try to send a message on the WhatsApp.
Видим часики, то есть сообщение как будто бы отправилось, но оно не уходит.
Yes, we can say that as if you've sent it, but it doesn't go away because the firewall is cutting back. And you can see on the firewall that we've had some drops, and let's go back.
Это TLS. Это у нас decrypt. Мы логи
No,
decrypt.
it's a TLS decrypt. We haven't shown it yet right here. You can see the WhatsApp. It's a rule to block in WhatsApp. And now let's just open it up to one person.
Пушим на девайс, смотрим.
Yeah, push it onto the device and let's see.
Политики дошли.
Ну вот и сообщения дошли.
And here the messages are here
Все
too.
работает. Все работает.
So it works. It works, and at the same time, we've on like 36 gigabit with inspection with the TLS works like a clock, And probably speaking about this scenario, I wanted to show.
Да, да.
Looks like it's all good, it's all great. Yeah, but again, I want to sum it up and say once again what we've shown you today, guys. On one hand,
основную тяжелую нагрузку.
we're making the biggest workload that we do. Everything is live, everything is working. At the same time, we have the basic case when
слайд включить. Вот. У нас есть
we have a basic case when we have some users or a group of users. We have an app or a group of apps. We have policies. We have hierarchies of these policies, and it's all up and running. You can go to our stand. You can see it. Our guys will show it to you, and we believe that actually this is the potential technology which will be easier to finish our product and to do the product which can replace everything.